Okay folks, welcome back to the channel to Reloading 32 ACP, part 2 of Project Remington. So today, first thing that we're going to do is we just have some proof of concept rounds that we have made up. So just like whenever I started out in reloading, I did not have a chronograph, so basically I had to do everything kind of seat of the pants, and just to kind of get, you just had to kind of gauge it in terms of whether the rounds were underpowered or getting up close there to maximum, what have you. So today I've got these 15 here, and essentially can load these up and just see how they shoot, and then kind of go off of there. If I think they're way too weak, then I know I can go ahead and maybe bump up the powder charge by 1/10 of a grain or so and try that. And then we'll get into doing some chrono work and some accuracy testing, and we'll see what we come up with. And who knows, we might finish it up in this video, or we might have to do a second one. We'll just kind of see how it all works out. All right, so let's go ahead and test these out and see what we get. The case racked into the chamber, no problem at all. So let's go ahead and line it up on target. All right, so I gotta say, to me personally, I think just the kind of the general feel of it all together seemed to be a little bit better than tight group. That was just my seat of the pants, instinct on that. I don't know, but the rounds, they ejected fine. No problem at all, no problem with feeding, nothing. So I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and use that as our starting load, and then we'll chronograph, we'll do some accuracy testing. All right, folks, so we're back at the reloading bench. We're gonna go ahead and the load that we started with, where we did the 15 up at the range, I have to say I was very happy with how they shot. They didn't seem to be too weak. They didn't seem to be too hot. The rounds, they fed fine, they ejected fine. And the powder here, this accurate number 2, the one thing I noticed about it is that it is a very fine gunpowder. There may be other gunpowders out there that are even smaller than that in terms of the granule size or the grain size, but yeah, that's pretty tiny there. It's almost like dust or something. But very fine powder. And so far, compared to tight group, I'm just kind of thinking maybe this will be better. We'll see. I don't know. So anyways, I thought since everything worked out at the range, we will use this as our starting load and go with that. And hopefully, well, we'll see where it goes. We'll chronograph test it, we'll accuracy test it, and we'll kind of see what we think. And if we do need to raise it up, it's going to have to be very, very kind of slight in terms of us raising the powder charge, because like I said, it sounds like there's basically 2/10 of a grain difference between min and max. So we don't have a lot of wiggle room, so to speak, to play with. So that's something that we're going to have to keep in mind. But yeah, so I'm just going to load up some here on the reloading bench, and I should probably do like maybe 30 or so. So I'll probably make about 30 of them, and then I'm going to crimp them. I have my crimping die all set up here on the Lee hand press. I still need to do a video on that actually, that we'll get to here at some point. But yes, there are tons of videos in production, so yeah, definitely a lot going on. All right, so we'll go ahead and we'll get these 30 loaded up, and then we'll see you all up at the range. All right, folks, so we're up at the range. We'll go ahead and test out our loads with accurate number 2. And so we got maybe about 30 or so there that we're going to go ahead and test out. And then the other thing too I thought we would do is, since I have some of this Remington ammo made with the same bullets, and let's see here, I thought it'd be cool at the same time to just kind of benchmark it and test this out at the same time and just see what we get and see what shows up. So yeah, just getting Mr. Heater here to warm my hands up a little bit. And then also the other thing that we did today was went ahead and installed the light loops here on the Pro Chrono chronograph. So hopefully with that, it's quite a bit overcast today. There's no sun. So hopefully that'll help with tracking those bullets as they go through there to measure our feet per second. So I'm actually doing a review on those right now. So we'll see how that turns out. And yeah, so let's get started. All right, this is our 2.1 grain of accurate number 2, and with our 71 grain full metal jacket bullets. Let's try it out, see how we go. .884. Ooh, this is damn. Wow. I think I like that. Okay, here we go. We have 71 grain factory ammo. So let's go ahead. We'll give that a look and see what we get with that, just out of curiosity's sake. A little more snappy. Damn, we're getting sparks and shit here. All right, here we go with Remington factory ammo. All right, folks, so here we are. We got Mr. Heater here keeping us warm. So let's have a look at our results. So this was the Remington factory ammo. So one thing I noticed with the little Beretta on that shooting rest, I think it might work okay for bigger pistols, but for smaller pistols, it seemed to kind of jump to the right, and that might have contributed to the group moving to the right. I just kind of noticed that. So probably in the future, I'll get one of those, you know, purpose-built pistol rest for doing this type of stuff. But the group on the factory ammo, I mean, it was okay at 20 yards or whatever. Basically looked to be just over 2 inches or so that it kind of spread out. You know, okay. Not great or anything. Now here with our ammo, so the first thing is I shot this group up here to the right, and again, I think the pistol kind of jumping to the right a little bit on that stand. I think, like I said, I think I need to get maybe a purpose-built stand or something. We also had one flyer out here too. If we just look at these 5, it's a little bit tighter, not too bad, but I would have liked to see it kind of more in here. And then I was like, okay, well, let me get off of this rest right here. And also too, my contacts are kind of a little bit blurry today and it's getting dark. So let me step outside and close in another 5 yards and see what group I get. And this time we ended up slightly to the left and then also down as well. And I think overall with the 6 shots, that seems to be just a tad tighter. So now let's take a look at the chronograph stuff and see what we came up with. So on the Remington, on the box, they list it as 905 feet per second, but we were clearly getting a bit higher. So we had pretty much 948, 961, 963, 930, 978, 969, 956, 990, and 962, 982. Okay, so you know, kind of not surprised really. A lot of the 32 ACP factory ammo, that's typically kind of what I usually see in terms of feet per second, kind of in the upper 900s typically, pretty much. The most accurate that I've ever chronoed was, I believe, Privy Partisan, and it was all like within, I think, something like 10 feet per second. It was extremely tight. So then let's take a look at ours here. Let's see, where are you? Let's see. So here we were down in the 800s, and I think it was pretty tight there. I mean, look at that first one, 884. 886, 884, 895, 889, 893. Then we did see a little bit of a spread there, 875, 849. That appears to be the big outlier. And then 890, 867, 861. So with a lot of those, that is very tight overall. I mean, look. And those first 6 shots, what are we looking at? Maybe 11 feet per second spread. So, yeah. Well, where do we go from here? I think one thing we could probably do is we could probably bump up the powder charge maybe about 1/10 of a grain and see where we end up with it. And also, too, see if we get better accuracy out of it as well. And then if... we'll see what results that we get out of that. Overall, I think I like the accurate powder. I think when you're dealing with a small cartridge like this, the small little granules, it's probably a little bit easier to dial in the powder measure. So overall, I'm liking this. So I think, again, like I said, what we'll do is we will go back, we'll make up, we'll redial in our powder measure, we'll make up some more of these and kind of see what we can get out of it and see if we get better results or if the results get worse. So that's the thing with a lot of this, is just experimenting and kind of figuring it out. So we'll see what we get. Anyways, folks, thanks for tuning in. Hope you all enjoyed it. And I'll give you one last final view here of the range before the snow comes here tonight. More snow. We've had like 7 snows in the past 2 weeks, and every time we get snow, it melts. So we're expecting much the same this evening. So anyway, stay tuned, folks, and we've got more videos coming, and we'll see you next time.